All right, ladies and gentlemen, Owen Shroyer here from Infowars.com, and we have been reporting on Jeffrey Epstein and industrial-level pedophile networks for literal decades. So we all woke up to the same news this morning, which was that somehow Jeffrey Epstein committed suicide while in prison. Now, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, allegedly he attempted to commit suicide already. And he was found in his jail cell, apparently in a fetal position, struggling to breathe, and it was an alleged suicide attempt then. Some people thought maybe it was his inmate, who was it looked like a crooked cop drug dealer, roid head, who maybe beat him up. He denied it. Of course, people think that, there's people that are trying to get Jeffrey Epstein dead for obvious reasons because he has a lot of dirt. But I want to just put a couple things on record for you here because you're not going to see it anywhere else. And Infowars is pretty much banned from the internet, except me here on Twitter. So I got to do this right now. And first of all, I want to say this. I'm seeing two phrases right now in response to the Epstein news that I never want to see again. Okay, one is financier Jeffrey Epstein. Financier. The guy was running industrial level sex trafficking networks that involved children. But financier, they say. Financier. No, not a financier. A damn pedophile. A damn sex slave salesman. Financier. The guy was a total fucking dirtbag, and he gets financier. Donald Trump doesn't even get that kind of treatment in the media. Alex Jones doesn't get that treatment in the media. The average conservative walks outside, and they're immediately a KKK Nazi who wanted to murder everybody. But Jeffrey Epstein is a financier. I'm sick of this crap, man. We're still protecting this fuckbag even after he's dead? Man, excuse me, I'm just fucking pissed. Pardon my language. But Jeffrey Epstein is a financier. But Donald Trump, he's the worst person in the world. He's KKK, white supremacist Nazi, because he loves America, because he says what's on his mind, because he's a real president. He gets every bad term thrown at him by the news all day long. But then Jeffrey Epstein dies, and all mainstream news says is financier. Financier Jeffrey Epstein. The guy was running sex slaves. The guy who had a damn pedophile plane and island. But he gets financier. I'm sick of this financier, man. Anybody calling Jeffrey Epstein a financier, boy, look, I'm not saying you're bad. But seriously, that's what you're going to do today? You're going to protect Jeffrey Epstein's record by calling him a financier? Now, not only that, I'm sick of seeing this word child sex. Child sex trafficker. Having sex with children. Let me explain something to you right now. There is no such thing as child sex. There's only child rape. Okay? Children don't choose to have sex when Jeffrey Epstein or whoever else sends them out to their clients. That's child rape. So I'm sick of the media protecting damn pedophiles, but if you're the average conservative or Donald Trump, you're the worst person in the world. I'm sick of this crap. So Jeffrey Epstein, financier, who was running child sex trafficking. No, that's child rape. So Jeffrey Epstein commits suicide and then in his death gets protected by the media while Donald Trump and all Trump supporters are still the worst thing ever, and the media says Nazi, KKK, white supremacists to try to start a civil war. But Jeffrey Epstein, who was running child sex pedophile networks at an industrial level with some of the most elite people in the world, is just a financier. Yeah. Now, let's get to the real issue today. how is it that Jeffrey Epstein was able to kill himself in prison? If you believe that, I got a bridge to sell you underwater. I've got some immaculate land I want to sell you, some property in the city of Atlantis. Commit suicide in jail? Are you serious? Are you serious? So he attempted to commit suicide a couple weeks ago, allegedly, and then you don't have him on suicide watch? And you're telling me this high profile inmate you don't have under max security and max surveillance, knowing what he knows? An FBI informant running child rape on an industrial level for his clients, and you don't have him under max surveillance? Boy, something is fishy about that, isn't it? So I would say this. Look, folks, if Epstein committed suicide, I just don't even know how to properly analyze that, because what is he protecting himself from with suicide? Or who is he protecting and why with suicide? Or was he murdered? And if he was murdered, how does he get murdered? But I'm dead serious, and this is a conspiracy theorist, but I'm just going off the odds here. How is it that one of the biggest criminals, one of the most high-profile criminals right now in the world, in media, is sitting in a jail cell, has already attempted suicide, surely has to be under 24/7 surveillance, 24/7 security, right? I mean, that's common sense, right? Let's deal with reality here. And somehow he's able to kill himself or be murdered in jail? Boy, something doesn't seem right about that. In fact, that seems impossible. So what the hell is going on here? So Epstein is dead, apparently. That's the main news. Now people are wondering what the heck happened. Another theory, called a conspiracy theory, and I'm sure it'll be brandied about, was Jeffrey Epstein put to death for what he did? And is this just the story that's being rolled out for the public to consume, so because they can't even understand what's going on? That's what I'm saying. So let me boil this down for you right now. Jeffrey Epstein, for decades, and he was put into this position years ago. He just took this position over. This has been going on for decades. Epstein just ended up at the top of this FBI informant program running sex slaves. So Jeffrey Epstein is an FBI informant running basically a pimp. He's got Lolita Express, his plane, that has all kinds of sex on it and drug use and everything that Bill Clinton and other famous people have flown on. He's got his pedophile island where they go and have orgies and probably do sacrifices in temples and all kinds of crazy stuff and rape kids. And so he's an FBI informant. So what happens? You're running these networks. You're running pedophile networks. You're running sex slaves. And then you bring in high-profile people, rich people, businessmen, politicians to get blackmail on them, and then you control them. And this has been going on for decades. This is all on record, by the way. I'm not making any of this up, folks. This is all on record in court and FBI documents. So you really have to wonder what's going on today, don't you? You really have to wonder what's going on today with Jeffrey Epstein, who's got all the dirt, the FBI informant, running the pedophile networks, somehow commits suicide in jail? Folks, I don't know what happened, but I know that what we're being told is a lie. Jeffrey Epstein was not a quote-unquote financier. That's a joke. Jeffrey Epstein was an FBI informant running child rape networks on an industrial level and then using that as blackmail with the FBI to essentially control the levers of power in the world, to control the power structure of the world. That's what's going on here. That's why you had royals that were clients of Jeffrey Epstein's. So folks, this is really amazing to me. Now you notice I've got the Trump flag behind me. So Donald Trump runs for president, wants to make America great again, brings the country together, and all he gets all day long is KKK, Nazi, white supremacist. But Jeffrey Epstein, who runs industrial level pedophilia, on all the news stories today gets what? Financier. A total piece of human trash. Jeffrey Epstein today is a financier. No, Jeffrey Epstein was a corrupt FBI informant running child rape slaves. Okay? And who knows what else was going on that island of his. I don't even want to know, I don't think. And I don't think America wants to know either. But I'll tell you right now, folks, if you believe that financier Jeffrey Epstein commits suicide in jail, I got a bridge to sell you in the city of Atlantis. Wake up, America. Now, this is big news. I'm not sure what follows from this. And like I said, I'm not sure what happened. But let me tell you one thing. When you see stories saying, financier Jeffrey Epstein commits suicide in jail, just know that's a load of bull. I don't know what happened. I don't know if he was killed. I don't know if he was Clinton-sided. I don't know if he did commit suicide. I don't know if he was put to the death penalty. But this is not a financier. This was an FBI informant running sex slavery at an industrial level to blackmail people. Okay? That's the story here. That's what should be in the headlines. That's what should have people amped up. But that's not what the media does. They call him a financier and then tell you to go march against Donald Trump because he's the bad guy. Even though under Donald Trump, by the way, folks, under Donald Trump, there have been thousands of pedophiles arrested. Epstein is now dead, running the whole network. You've had thousands of massage parlors get busted up for running sex slaves too. You've had Operation Broken Heart, where hundreds of children were rescued from sex slavery. This has all happened under Donald Trump. I'm not going to say pedophiles run the world, but I'm telling you right now, folks, Jeffrey Epstein's pedophile network had major influences and has people all over the power structure, everywhere. So just know that when you see the headlines saying, financier Jeffrey Epstein commits suicide. Just know that. Just know how this is being sold to you and just know what the truth is. That's all I ask. Now, what comes of this, we'll find out. But man, oh man, these are incredible times we're living in, ladies and gentlemen. And I'll tell you, they can try to demonize Alex Jones and InfoWars all day long, but anybody who's been listening knows that we are tomorrow's news today. We've been telling you about Epstein. We predicted this whole Epstein thing years ago. Now here we are. So I'm not going to let them steal this story and say financier Jeffrey Epstein commits suicide in jail. No, a child sex blackmail FBI informant was probably just killed or put to death because he either has too much information on people of power or the damn guy was raping kids, selling kids for sex, and was put to death. And if he did commit suicide, then whoever is in charge of surveillance and security at that prison not only needs to be fired, but investigated immediately, because that is such a dereliction of duty, it's not even explainable. So that does it for me, folks. Financier Jeffrey Epstein. What a joke. FBI informant, convicted child sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein, who, by the way, in Epstein's life, for all the crimes he's done, he's barely even going to spend a year in jail. The time he spent in jail, he didn't even spend most of it in jail. He had a work release. But Donald Trump's the bad guy. Donald Trump is the one to be angry about. Donald Trump is the one to be focused on as the evildoer. No. So what happened to Jeffrey Epstein? What happens next? And is the pedophile network shut down? I mean, think about that. What happens to that big industrial level pedophile network now? But there you go, folks. Jeffrey Epstein dies in jail. They claim suicide. Okay. I guess. Financier. What a joke. So for Infowars.com, this is Owen Shroyer. What a time to be alive, ladies and gentlemen.